makes them blind, and so Elisha leads them into the middle of Samaria. The king of Israel asks Elisha whether or not he should kill them. Elisha says not to, but to give them food instead. The king does so, and then sends them back to their armies, whereupon they cease their advances against Israel.
Elisha then tells one of the other prophets to go and anoint Jehu, king of Israel, and say to him, as in 2 Kings 8, 6-10, "Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, I anoint you king over the people of the Lord, over Israel. And you shall strike down the house of Ahab your master, so that I may avenge on Jezebel the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab every male, bond or free in Israel. And I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha and the son of Ahijah. And the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the territory of Jezreel, and none shall bury her." Jehu therefore goes and massacres Joram, Ahab's son, the Jezebel, all of Ahab's sons, his close friends, his leaders, his priests, and all those who worship Baal. Jehu reigns for 28 years, and, although his destruction of Ahab's house is commanded, the summary of him is not positive, as given in 2 Kings 28-31, where we read, "Thus Jehu wiped out Baal from Israel. But Jehu did not turn aside from the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin. That is, the golden calves that were in Bethel and in Dan. And the Lord said to Jehu, Because you have done well in carrying out what is right in my eyes, and you have done to the house of Ahab according to all that was in my heart, your sons of the 4 generations shall sit on the throne of Israel." But Jehu was not careful to walk with the law of the Lord, the God of Israel, with all his heart. He did not turn from the sins of Jeroboam, which he made Israel to sin. Moreover, although his massacre of Ahab's house is viewed positively here, it is denounced later by the prophet Hosea.
Jehu's son Joahaz then reigns over Israel for 17 years. He then dies and is replaced by his son Jehoash, who reigns for 16 years, before he then dies and is replaced by his son Jeroboam II. All of these do evil in God's sight, yet, nevertheless, God in his grace uses them to bring the Israelites deliverance from their enemies. Jeroboam II then dies, and his son Zechariah succeeds him. Zechariah reigns for 6 months, but he is killed by the usurper Shallum. Shallum reigns for the grand total of 1 month, and then is struck down by Menahem. Menahem reigns for 10 years, and does great evil in God's sight. The king of Assyria comes against Israel, but Menahem manages to buy him off, and so he turns back. Menahem then dies, and his son Pekahiah becomes king. Pekahiah reigns for 2 years, and then his captain, who most confusingly is called Pekah, kills him and takes over the throne. Pekah then reigns for 20 years, and again does evil in God's sight. During his reign, the king of Assyria captures a number of northern towns and deports the people to Assyria. Pekah is then killed by someone called Hoshea, who takes the throne from him.
Hoshea reigns in Israel for 9 years and does what is evil in God's sight. He becomes a vassal to the Assyrians and then makes the deadly mistake of calling on Egypt for help, and so not paying his tribute. He is then captured by the Assyrians and imprisoned. The whole of Israel is then taken over by the Assyrians, who, after laying siege to Samaria for 3 years, capture even this and carry off all the Israelites to Assyria.